Okay, I think it's fine. Okay. Yes, again, let me continue yesterday's discussion. I was talking about a rolling constraint, isn't it? Again, if that rolling constraint is convinced, I think that problem can be solved. So, whatever the problem that we were solving, a cylinder rolling inside a cylinder, isn't it? Again, suppose let me take this as the origin of my coordinate. Let me call that one as x equal to 0. Okay. So this is a sphere or cylinder or whatever you can take, sphere, cylinder or disk. Okay. Again, this rolling constant equation that depends only on the radius of the structure, and again it doesn't depend on any other part actually. So that's why this can be sphere which is purely rolling, hollow sphere or solid sphere, or disc which is purely rolling, or a ring which is purely rolling, like that. Okay, whatever the situation, or a cylinder which is purely rolling. Let me take radius A. Suppose again I am going to put some red paint here on this sphere. Okay. After some time I am going to, again this is purely rolling, it is rolling like this. After some time I am going to watch that one. Suppose this is the new position of the sphere. Is that okay? I hope yeah. So radius A again. Now when center of mass moved by this distance, let me take the distance as x actually. Okay, let me take that distance as x here. So when center of mass of the sphere which is moved by the distance x, suppose if I put a red again paint on this surface of the sphere, so then this red point might have moved somewhere here. This red point might have moved somewhere here, isn't it? Can you imagine that one? Okay, when you just roll this one, this point is going to move here. If you are in the center of mass frame of reference, you will feel that this red painted point on your structure, on your sphere, that is moved from this point to this point when you are looking vertically downward, isn't it? So now I have to define motion about center of mass. I have to define a coordinate. I am going to call it as phi. Is that okay? So here that phi equal to 0, let me take that phi equal to 0 when x equal to 0. So this is the position when x equal to 0. At this position phi equal to 0. Now you got some finite phi here. So any question quickly ask. Okay. Now again that we can write one thing. We can write velocity, again speed of center of mass, that's equal to a into phi dot, where phi is the angle which is defined with respect to center of mass, and again this velocity of center of mass, again this is corresponds to linear motion, this is corresponds to angular motion. They are related like this. Pure rolling constraint, pure rolling constraint. So I can write this one as x dot is equal to a into phi dot, or again if I integrate, because x equal to 0, when x equal to 0, phi equal to 0, I have taken phi equal to 0, that's why I can write x equal to a into phi. So that you can feel here, isn't it? So this distance should be equal to this much, am I right? So this arc length, that's equal to a into phi. A into phi is this arc length. This arc length should be equal to this distance. Can you just imagine that one? So if this is not clear, quickly comment on the comment box. Let me try to convince you. Pure rolling constraint. Any question? Yes. Again, this is what we have applied actually. Okay, in the problem that we have taken. What is the problem number? Anyone? Cylinder inside a cylinder. Yeah, I think this is a problem number 2030. Isn't it? 2030. Let me quickly do the problem. Again, I think I have written only Lagrangian yesterday. I have a big sphere of radius capital R. Okay, inside a big sphere, not sphere. Okay, big cylinder, big hollow cylinder. Inside this big hollow cylinder, inside this big hollow cylinder, again this is the center of the big hollow cylinder, inside that one a solid cylinder which is rolling without slipping. Okay, that's what we have taken, a solid cylinder of radius I think small r, which is rolling without slipping. That is the idea that we have taken. Am I right? This is the vertical line. Again, join exactly at 5:30. Okay, I mean in Google Meet, so that I should not look into Google Meet again. Yeah. So if any mistake on the board, quickly comment. Okay. So I have taken this one as theta. Theta is the coordinate that I have taken to what you call talk about motion of center of mass. This is the center of mass of this solid cylinder. Of I think solid cylinder have got mass m here. Okay, that's what he said. Now again, what we have written is, again this is r minus r. Am I right? This distance is nothing but r minus r. We can write kinetic energy of center of mass plus kinetic energy about center of mass. Am I right? To write the kinetic energy about center of mass, I have to define some coordinate here. Am I right? Suppose this is the coordinate that you can define here. Can you see this diagram? This is angle pi. Let me take this angle pi. Now this distance is equal to the distance that center of mass have moved. Okay, the same idea that I have taken here. Okay, this distance is same as this distance. So this angle I have taken it as pi. Any question here? Pi. That's why r minus r into theta is equal to, so this is small r, this radius is small r, this arc length is small r into pi. Okay, this is we are going to apply later. Again, or r minus r theta dot is equal to r into pi dot. Okay, you can take any of this. Kinetic energy of center of mass, kinetic energy about center of mass, that is the total kinetic energy, that's equal to half m. Again, this center of mass have got only tangential velocity. If you take polar coordinate, isn't it? Again, only what you call, there is no radial velocity. That's why half m r minus r whole square into theta dot square. I am writing directly. That's kinetic energy of center of mass. Kinetic energy about center of mass, that's equal to half I into pi dot square, where I is the moment of inertia of the solid cylinder. I think he has taken solid cylinder. Am I right? Anyone comment? Solid homogeneous cylinder of radius smaller. That's correct. So that again its moment of inertia is m r square by 2. Am I right or not? Somebody on Google Meet quickly comment. Am I right? Moment of inertia. Can you hear me? Yes. Now look at here. I can just substitute again later. Let me substitute that one later. Again, if you write potential energy, if I take this one as the origin, if I take this one as the zero potential level, so this center of mass is what you call it is below this line. Am I right? I can just write this distance. This distance is nothing but, this is r minus r. This is r minus small r. I hope you can see this one. This distance is r minus small r. So this distance is nothing but r minus small r into cos theta. Is that okay? That's why this is equal to minus mg r minus small r into cos theta. That's why I wish to convert this pi also into theta, because I have some constraint equation here. Holonomic constraint, pure rolling constraint. Is that okay? So now I can write the Lagrangian. If I write the Lagrangian, half m, I better rewrite here itself. Okay, so that's equal to half I is nothing but m r square by 2. I have to write pi dot square. Pi dot square is nothing but r minus r whole square theta dot square divided by a small r square. So that the small r square got cancelled. small r square got cancelled. I can take something common here. Am I right? What is 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2? Quickly. 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2. 3 by 4. I can write 3 by 4 if I add these two parts. 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2. 4 is LCM. Am I right? So 2 plus 1, that's equal to 3. Now 3 by 4 m r minus r whole square theta dot square, that is the kinetic energy part, and L equal to T minus V. Minus V means plus mg r minus small r cos theta. Remember, the small r is not a polar variable, okay? Polar coordinate variable is a constant. It's a radius of small sphere. Be careful while handling with notations, okay? So only theta is variable here. Quite easy equation, and only one generalized coordinate, that is theta, isn't it? You have only one what you call equation of motion, dou L by dou theta dot minus dou L by dou theta is equal to 0. You can find frequency of small oscillation here, okay? By some approximation, you can find frequency of small oscillation. That's what I am expecting, okay? They may ask what is the frequency of small oscillation, again when this rolls like this, okay? Yes. Length of the cylinder doesn't matter, okay? This is a big hollow cylinder, okay? And this is a small cylinder. Length of the cylinder doesn't matter. We have taken mass, okay? The length, again, length will decide the mass, or mass depend on the length. Am I right? It is not needed, definitely. It doesn't depend on that one, okay? So one more thing, one more information that they may give here is, again, length of the cylinder also doesn't matter. Mass is playing the role here. So that's all we need. And one more thing is, this big cylinder, we don't need any mass of this big hollow cylinder. Remember, this big hollow cylinder is at rest. Is that okay? It will give only surface for this motion. Okay, and again, in other sense, they may give that the inside surface of this big hollow cylinder is rough. They can give like that, so that this pure rolling happens. Pure rolling happens only when surface is rough, isn't it? So they may mention that point also. Just note that down. Okay. So that length is not needed. We have taken one cross sectional view actually. Is that okay? Yeah, but again, so you should imagine that it is rolling like this. It is rolling like this. Mass again length is again mass is decided by the length. You can take that idea. If you take again, there is a motion along there is no motion along the length of the cylinder, only again, but if you take this is the axis of this cylinder, this axis is moving like this, okay? I hope you can imagine that one. It is rolling like this. Again, we have we are interested to find frequency of small oscillation here. Yeah. So now let me quickly again do this one. D by dt of dou L by dou theta dot 2 theta dot would happen 3 by 2 m r minus r into theta dot, isn't it? So minus dou L by dou theta. One more negative sign will come because of the derivative. So plus m g r minus r into sine theta is equal to 0. I hope you can see that part of the board. So this is equal to 3 by 2 m r minus r theta double dot. This is constant. Don't take the derivative. Okay, this small r is not variable, or it takes some other symbol. Suppose radius of the small sphere as a. If you are getting confusion, okay, be careful. Plus mg r minus r sine theta is equal to 0. Usually they will mention. I think they have mentioned in the question. For small angle theta, again for small oscillation, find the frequency of small oscillation. Okay, again we can make small angle approximation here. I think I can cancel out m here because I have 0 that part, r minus r. I can divide whole thing by m r minus r, isn't it? And I can divide by 3 by 2 also, so that I can write theta double dot plus dividing by 3 by 2, that means 2 by 3 g sine theta is equal to 0. Can I write like this? Anyone? Yeah, again, small mistake, small mistake. This was square, am I right? Square, that's why r minus r whole square theta double dot, am I right? Again, I can cancel out only one of the part, so that here r minus r would remain. So can I write like this now? I hope now it is okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Again, quickly, speak out about that mistake, okay, because that will consume time actually. 2 by 3 r minus r, what is this one? G, am I right? G will remain. Sine theta is equal to 0. I hope you can do this mathematical step, okay. Now again, for small angle, for small theta, you can write sine theta nearly equal to theta, am I right? This is equal to theta double dot plus 2g by 3 r minus r theta is equal to 0. This equation is of the form, theta double dot plus omega square theta is equal to 0. You can convert that one into linear also, okay. You can convert that one into linear, but it is not needed, where omega is equal to root of 2g by 3 into r minus r, where again omega is equal to 2 pi by t. You can solve it for t also if they ask for time period. So any question here? I hope this is very simple problem. Yeah, quickly, any questions? Let me move on to other problem here. Again, small oscillation problem. Again, later we shall go for more than 1 degree of freedom problem also. Okay, in case of small oscillation, these are again writing our equation. Again, getting this kind of equation actually. Our target is getting this kind of equation. Here you have only one generalized coordinate. That's why you don't have to struggle here, isn't it? You got this what you call equation of motion for small oscillation or simple harmonic motion directly with very less effort, okay. But again, I think in the case of the table mass problem, you needed some effort to get into this kind of equation, isn't it? Let me do a similar question, similar to the table mass problem, finding frequency of small oscillation for some a kind of oscillation. So let me try to define this problem. I think this is 2014. Okay, problem number 2014. Again, here also he designed a problem on a small oscillation about some equilibrium situation. Yeah, any questions? A spherical pendulum consists of a point mass m tied by a string of length L fixed to a point so that it is constrained to move on a sphere. Okay, I better to take a sphere. Let me take a sphere. Again, I have a center of the sphere is here. What I do is I am going to tie a mass m by a string of length L. Okay, by a string of length L. Now, again let me do this part A and C of the problem. With what angular velocity will this mass should move on a circle with the string making constant angle theta naught with the vertical. Look at here, he has taken theta as the angle with the vertical. He has taken theta as the angle with the vertical. Let me call this one as theta. So that's why what I do is, again, in case of spherical pendulum, wait a second, I got question. Klepner 6.36. Can you just take a photo of, again, screenshot of that problem and put it into Facebook group? I think Klepner means it's 6.36 means I think it's a Newtonian mechanics kind of thing, isn't it? So here we are solving Lagrangian application, okay, application of Lagrangian and Hamiltonian mechanics, okay, yeah. Anyway, just post that question. Now look at here. So what I do is, again, since he said it's a spherical pendulum, again obviously I should go for spherical polar coordinate. So I play one trick here. Again, in case of any coordinate, again coordinate is always your choice. Am I right? You can choose your z cap here. Why not? Because in case of spherical polar coordinate, suppose this is the radial distance, r is equal to L. Suppose this is the origin, this is the position of the mass, isn't it? So theta is the angle made by your radial vector with a z axis. Am I right? That's why what I do is I am going to choose z axis, which is downward, vertically downward. Why not? Okay, God hasn't what you call already mentioned this coordinate system. Okay, it's always your choice. It is left to you. That's why I'm going to choose z cap here. If I choose z cap here, I hope I should choose x cap here and I should choose y cap here. Somebody? No, y cap here, x cap here. Y cap here, x cap here. Am I right? Because x cap cross y cap. No. I think again that cross product should be, if you do x cap cross y cap, you should get z cap. Okay, that's how you have to draw the coordinate system. Where I have to draw x cap and y cap? Quickly, somebody. X cap cross y cap. Am I right? This should be x cap. This should be y cap. Am I right? Again, x cap cross y cap. I think yeah, that is correct. This should be x cap. This should be y cap. If I take, yeah, again, x cap cross y cap, z cap. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, yeah, that's correct. This should be followed. Okay, if you draw x y z coordinate, Cartesian coordinate, this should be followed. Okay, be careful. Don't put x cap here, y cap here. That would be wrong. I hope this is correct. Am I right? Whenever you draw Cartesian coordinate, again follow this one. Okay, you should respect this cross product. Now again I can take projection to xy plane. I hope you know how to define phi and all. Okay, r is equal to L here. I can take projection to xy plane. Suppose this is the line on the xy plane. Then I think I can define angles like this, isn't it? I can define phi here, isn't it? I can define phi here. So now what he is saying is, with what angular velocity should move on a circle? This mass should move on a circle. Okay, with what angular velocity this mass should move on a circle, so that again this vertical what you call angle is constant value theta naught. Okay, that's the question. Now look at here, for this what you call circular motion, you can define what you call angular velocity. That's nothing but phi dot actually. He also mentioned in the diagram. Is that okay? This phi dot, this phi coordinate, this phi dot will take care about this what you call this circular motion. This theta dot will take care about this kind of motion. Okay, there is no radial motion. Why? Again, it is again distance from the origin is constant. Okay, this inextensible thread. Again, I am talking about y Kellenbach. Okay, yes. Just try to follow the spherical polar coordinate, because I always go to coordinate system and I am going to write the kinetic energy term directly. Okay. Now, I hope you can again you can say that this phi dot will talk about what you call angular velocity of this kind of circular motion. Okay. So definitely, if this mass what you call again rotate, so if this mass follows this kind of circular motion with more angular velocity, I think this will move upside. Am I right? If this mass moves with very less angular velocity, again I think this theta will be small. I hope you can feel that one, isn't it? Because very classical ideas here, isn't it? I hope you can apply your logical thinking or our common sense actually. Is that okay? Look at here. Now, why I have defined this spherical polar coordinate? Because again you can apply this whole idea to any spherical pendulum problem actually. Yeah, z cap and x cap may be in the same plane. Y cap is out of the plane. Again, you can assume like that. But you should respect this one. X cap cross y cap should be equal to z cap. X cap cross y cap should be equal to z cap. Okay, you should respect this one. That's how you have to draw. You can assume like that. Again, three-dimensional diagram, isn't it? There are two ways of seeing the diagram usually whenever I draw that three-dimensional diagram on the plane, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Now look at here. So that's why he mentioned for this circular motion, you can define angular velocity pi dot. That is nothing but your spherical polar coordinate pi coordinate. Okay. Now look at here. I'm going to write Lagrangian quickly. Okay. So my Lagrangian, my kinetic energy part is half m. That there will be no radial component. I hope you know how to write the general kinetic energy in spherical polar coordinate. Half m r dot square plus r square theta dot square plus r square sine square theta phi dot square. Am I right? Isn't it? Now look at here. Again, if you go for that polar coordinate, this r dot equal to 0, why this distance from the origin equal to constant. This part is 0. I need to write only this part. Okay. That's why I can write directly r is nothing but L here. L square theta dot square plus L square sine square theta phi dot square. L square sine square theta pi dot square. This is the kinetic energy part. Okay. And potential energies, again, you can take this xy plane as zero potential. How much below this mass is? Again, this distance, isn't it? You can take this distance. That is nothing but L cos theta. So minus plus mg L cos theta. Mg L cos theta. Any question here? Quickly. Yeah, this y cap is out of the plane. You can take that idea. Now, after writing this one, I can quickly go for equation of motion. Look at here, two generalized coordinates are involved here, theta and phi here. Okay, so that's why two equation of motion exist. Again, you can. So, can you just tell me which quantity is conserved here just by looking into Lagrangian? Usually, that is a kind of problem that they may ask, isn't it? Again, in part A of the question, he said constant theta. We should find again how much angular velocity that we should give so that this theta is constant. That's part A of the question. Again, initially I defined very general part, okay, where theta, both theta and phi are variable. Most general situation. Okay, later we shall get into part A of the question where he said again it is rotating in such a way that it is making a constant angle theta naught. Okay, I'll get into that one later. But so let me take it in a most general form. Okay, so later I'll just yeah. Just by looking into Lagrangian, okay, can you just say y L square is 0 in kinetic energy? I'm not getting that one. No, r dot is not there. Okay, r is equal to L, r dot is equal to 0. This is only theta cap and pi cap part of the velocity, the square actually, square and added. Okay. Radius is constant, that's not what I am talking about. Again, which is conserved quantity? Again, which coordinate is cyclic? Again, I said, look at here, again, two generalized coordinates, theta and phi, am I right? Phi is cyclic here, or phi coordinate or function of phi doesn't appear here. Pi dot is not function of phi, remember. It's a generalized velocity, this is not coordinate, remember. Phi is cyclic here or phi is absent here. That's why p phi that's equal to dou L by dou phi dot, that's equal to constant. I hope you have seen this generalized definition of what you call conservation law, isn't it? If any coordinate is cyclic, momentum conjugate to that coordinate is conserved, isn't it? Again, that is also one of the equation of motion. You will see this one, okay? Again, you will get dou L by dou phi dot equal to constant as one of the equation of motion. You can see that one. Now again, if I go for theta, generalized coordinate theta, d by dt of dou L by dou theta dot minus dou L by dou theta is equal to 0. When I apply that one, what would happen is d by dt of m L square theta dot 2 theta dot 2 got cancelled, okay, minus dou L by dou theta, that means minus m L square 2 sin theta into cos theta, sin theta into cos theta, the 2 got cancelled. If you feel this step is very direct, do it later, okay. Do it later. Minus m L square sin theta into cos theta, phi dot square, dou L by dou theta, minus one more minus because of this derivative, plus m G L sin theta is equal to 0. Okay, let me keep it here. M L square theta double dot minus m L square sin theta cos theta. Again, I can divide whole thing by m L square. That's a good idea. Okay, theta double dot minus sin theta cos theta into phi dot square plus g by L. I have divided whole equation by m L square. Okay, that's why g by L sin theta is equal to 0. That is one of the equation of motion. Okay, corresponds to theta. Corresponds to phi. I think you can expect very simple equation, isn't it? D by dt of dou L by dou phi dot, that's minus dou L by dou phi is equal to 0. Am I right? Dou L by dou phi is 0 because there is no what you call dependency on phi here. Okay, Lagrangian is independent of phi. So that's why d by dt of dou L by dou phi dot is equal to 0. That means time derivative of this quantity is 0, means this quantity should be constant with respect to time. That's equal to dou L by dou phi dot, that's equal to constant with respect to time. I call this one as p phi actually. But I don't need this symbol while solving the problem. We call that one as p phi. Now again, what is this dou L by dou phi dot? Dou L by dou phi dot is m L square sin square theta phi dot. M L square sin square theta phi dot, that is equal to constant. Is that okay? That means sin square theta into phi dot equal to constant. You can just rewrite that equation if you need. Is that okay? Now let me go to first part of the question. Let me keep these two equation of motion here. Okay. M L square sin square theta phi dot is equal to constant. Remember, to solve any small oscillation problem, I think again for single coordinate small oscillation problem, you may need to avoid this phi dot. Look at here, both theta and phi variable is going to play the role. You can't form one equation just like theta double dot plus omega square theta equal to 0 like that. Okay, you can't do like that. Again, somehow you should make use of this equation. Okay, let us do that problem. Again, quite different small oscillation. Again, not because two generalized coordinates are involved here. Let me start with part A of the question. Part A of the question. Let me do part A and C here, okay, because that's what I am expecting as an exam question. With what angular velocity will it move on a circle with a string making an angle, constant angle theta naught? Okay, again, for some angular velocity that this mass m can move on a circle, okay, what is that angular velocity? So what is that angular velocity so that theta will be equal to theta naught? Okay, that is the question. Now what you can do here is, again, if this mass moves on a circle, okay, definitely phi dot is non-zero. You will have one constant phi dot when this mass moves on a circle, but theta is constant, theta dot equal to 0. If theta equal to theta naught, theta dot is equal to 0, theta double dot also equal to 0. You can make use of this equation actually. You can just substitute this one. You can solve it for phi dot. That's what he is asking. With what angular velocity will the mass move on a circle with a string making an angle, constant angle theta naught with the vertical? So that's why you can just substitute this one. If theta is equal to constant, if theta equal to theta naught, its second derivative equal to 0. I can make use of that equation, minus sin theta naught cos theta naught phi dot square. I'll call it as pi naught dot square. Is that okay? Because it's a constant actually. Constant angular velocity, pi naught dot square plus g by L sin theta naught is equal to 0. I have just substituted this condition here. I think I can cancel out this one. I can write phi naught dot is equal to root of g by L cos theta, g by L cos theta naught. I am going to make use of this equation, okay, later. I need this one. This mass should move with this much angular velocity so that again this string will make an angle theta naught with the vertical. So part A of the question. Let me quickly get into next part. Is that okay? Now when this mass moves on a circle, okay, this kind of circle, again with a constant angle theta naught, it's a kind of what you call, again with respect to theta, in the point of view of theta, again it's a kind of equilibrium. If you try to change this theta just by giving this kind of motion, it will try to regain theta naught actually. And it will do a small oscillation. Again, if you just see theta, so again theta will change about theta naught by a very small angle, and it's going to do a kind of small oscillation. So that's the next part of the question. Find the frequency of small oscillation when amplitude of oscillation about theta, okay, there is an oscillation about theta naught and that is very small. What is the frequency of this oscillation? That's what the question. Next part of the question. It is doing a kind of circular motion. It will try to retain that circular motion. That's why if you just give any what you call again if you try to change this theta naught, somehow it will try to regain that theta naught, okay, so that it will do a kind of small oscillation. So that I can write, in that case I can write theta, generally theta is theta naught plus some alpha. That alpha may be positive or negative. Free body diagram. I think you are trying to apply Newtonian mechanics, am I right? Free body diagram. I am trying to apply Lagrangian technique here. Can you just post your doubt into Facebook? That's a good idea. Let me try to answer. I hope you are in the Facebook group. Again, free body diagram means I think you have taken this mg like that, am I right? Again, this tension and all, isn't it? Yeah, again, we are applying Lagrangian technique here because in Lagrangian technique you don't have to work out any vector algebra. That's what I am concentrating on. Is that okay? Again, you don't have to work out any vector algebra here. That's not needed. You just have to define Lagrangian, which composed of two two scalar part. One is kinetic energy, other one is potential energy. Is that okay? I can understand. You can just ask your doubt in Hindi, okay? Definitely. Yeah, we can resolve the tension into component. I think you can apply Newtonian mechanics also to find this one, definitely. Okay? But again, when I see the question, again this is Vykelim question. In Vykelim, it's an analytical mechanics part, okay? So they are expecting us to deal with the Lagrangian method actually, okay? That's why I'm just trying to apply that one. So part A is over here. Part A is over here. Again, I should go for part C. Let me go for part C of the question, where he is asking about some small oscillation about theta, where I have to substitute theta is equal to theta naught plus alpha. Definitely. Then theta double dot, theta naught is constant, that's equal to alpha double dot. You can substitute here, but the problem is with pi dot square. Problem is with pi dot square. You should try to eliminate. So that's why for this circular motion, okay, when angle theta naught appears here, for this circular motion, what you can write here is, again you have here, okay, sine square theta pi dot, sine square theta pi dot is equal to constant. Let me take this one. ml square is constant, that's why this should be constant, am I right? What I do is I am going to write sine square theta naught pi dot naught is equal to sine square theta pi dot, this is constant with respect to time, means, okay, this product, value of this product at situation A, should be equal to value of the product at any later situation. Can I say like this? Quickly, somebody reply. I hope you got this one. This is constant with respect to time means this is again when it was doing circular motion. This is again general situation. This is general situation. Even when I give small oscillation like this, even when I disturb it like this. Is that okay? I can write this one because that is constant with respect to time. So now again from this one you can solve it for pi dot. Look at here. So again that pi dot, I think what I need is sine theta pi dot square. Am I right? What would you do here? I need pi dot square. Am I right? I need pi dot. What is pi dot? Pi dot is, I think, sine square theta pi naught dot whole divided by sine square theta. So pi dot square, I need pi dot square over there. That's equal to sine square theta naught here. Okay. So sine raised to 4 theta naught, pi naught dot square of this one. Yeah, let me write it like this: pi naught dot square whole divided by, so sine raised to 4 theta. Let me substitute this one. Is that okay? I hope this diagram is clear. Now I'm going to rewrite that equation: theta double dot minus sine theta cos theta pi dot square sine raised to 4 theta naught into pi naught dot square. I think I can substitute this one. That's a good idea. I can substitute this one, or let me write it again. He has written that one as omega naught. Okay, I'll just call it as omega naught because I'll always get confusion with this pi naught and pi. That's why I'm going to call this pi naught as omega naught. Is that okay? This is equal to, I'm going to write it as, so sine raised to 4 theta naught into omega naught square whole divided by sine raised to 4 theta. That's equal to, what would happen is sine raised to 4 theta multiplied with omega naught square, because I feel comfortable with that one. Omega naught square plus, what is the next part? G by L sine theta. Am I right? What I do is G by L sine theta. G by L also I am going to write in terms of omega naught. Okay, because that is needed in the later step actually. Yeah, so that G by L, again I am going to solve it from this part, or you can keep it as it is. Okay, later you can just take care of that one. But what I am feeling is, if I write this one in terms of omega naught, this part also better to write in terms of omega naught. Somehow if I do some small angle approximation later, something will get cancelled. Okay, that is the idea. Now, so plus G by L, from this equation, G by L, I can write it as omega naught square into cos theta. Cos theta naught. Okay. Yes. Again, I can understand in Hindi, but you have to speak Hindi little, what you call, little easy Hindi, okay? But I can understand, okay? Yeah, again, at the end of the, what you call, session, let me paste a Facebook group link, okay? Again, be active in the community platform of this YouTube channel also, okay? There you will get much more link. Now, G by L, what I do is, I'm going to write omega naught square cos theta naught into sin theta is equal to 0. This is the equation that you have to get into. Then you have to apply this approximation. Again, remember this is very small, this alpha is very much less than theta naught, okay? This is the approximation that we take. Again, the whole problem is quite lengthy, but this problem is similar to the table mass problem. Why I am doing this one again? Because again, since that problem is asked in exam, Again, I am just expecting this kind of problem also, okay? Quite lengthy actually. Again, if you substitute and if you do all of those approximations, sine cube theta here, okay? Theta double dot minus omega naught square sine raised to 4 theta naught, omega naught square sine raised to 4 theta naught cos theta divided by sine cube theta, so plus omega naught square cos theta naught sine theta is equal to 0. Okay. Anyway, we shall solve that one. Again, so rest of things are mathematical step. We should apply these approximations here. Now, again, sine theta. How do you write sine theta? Sine of theta naught plus alpha. That's equal to sine A plus B. Sine A. Quickly, somebody. Cos alpha. Sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. Quickly, somebody. Quickly. Reply. Sin A cos B plus cos A sin B plus cos theta naught plus into sin alpha, cos theta naught into sin alpha. When alpha is very small, this sin theta can be written as sin theta nearly equal to, look at here, when alpha is very small, cos alpha is nearly equal to 1. I have taken very small value approximation here. I am going to approximate this one nearly equal to 1. So again, theta naught is not small, okay? Alpha is small. Deviation from theta naught is very small, okay? I am just disturbing from theta naught. That disturbance is very small, this alpha. Remember, that's why this is going to be sin theta naught plus, when alpha is very small, sin alpha, again look at here, I am taking cos alpha nearly equal to 1, sin alpha nearly equal to alpha, I am taking this approximation, plus alpha cos theta naught. So similarly, cos theta I can write as cos of theta naught plus alpha, that's equal to, I think, cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. Am I right? So tell me if I am wrong. That's equal to, again, the same approximation, these two approximation, okay? Cos alpha nearly equal to 1, sin alpha nearly equal to alpha. That is cos theta naught minus alpha sin theta naught. Cos theta naught minus alpha sin theta naught. Quite lengthy mathematical step, but somehow we shall sustain and we shall try to solve, okay? Now I have to substitute these two. I have to substitute these two here. Yeah, let me try that one. Again, cos theta nearly equal to cos theta naught minus alpha sin theta naught. I should substitute these two. Now what I need is, I need cos theta divided by sin cube theta, am I right? Cos theta divided by sin cube theta. This one we have to, what you call, again, for small angle approximation, we should somehow take care of this part. I think rest of thing we can take care later, okay? Theta double dot I can directly write it as alpha double dot, okay? Again, I can deal with rest of all part, but let me concentrate on this part, cos theta divided by sin cube theta, that's equal to, again, that's nearly equal to, actually, that's nearly equal to cos theta naught minus alpha sin theta naught whole divided by sin theta naught plus alpha cos theta naught the whole cube. If you found any mistake, quickly reply, okay? What I do here is, I am going to take cos theta naught outside from the numerator. So sin theta naught from inside of this cube. If I take sin theta naught outside, what would happen when it comes outside this bracket? Sin cube of theta naught. If I take those things outside, I think you will get 1 minus alpha tan theta naught whole divided by 1 plus alpha cot theta naught. Again, the whole cube. the whole cube. Just sustain for a couple of steps. I think it will be over. Okay. Cos theta naught divided by sine cube theta naught. Cos theta naught divided by sine cube theta naught. Look at here. If you do like that, when you just substitute it here, what would happen is sine raised to 4 theta naught divided by sine cube theta naught. 1 sine theta naught will remain in the numerator. Okay. So then what would happen is, again, this cos theta naught also remain in the numerator, so that I somehow this term is going to come here. Okay, that is the idea. Again, you need some practice. Again, let me try to solve. Now what I do here is, again, this alpha is very small. Don't forget that part. This alpha is very small, so that alpha multiplied with cot theta naught is also very small. I can apply again what you call binomial expansion for this one. So that again I am running out of space here. Cos theta divided by sine cube theta naught, that's nearly equal to cos theta naught divided by sine cube theta naught 1 minus alpha tan theta naught multiplied with this one. Again, that is 1 by, so can I write like this? Let me just manage some space here. Let me write it as 1 plus alpha cot theta naught the whole cube, 1 plus x power minus 3, sorry. Let me take into numerator. Let me do binomial expansion. If I do, I hope I have given that one yesterday, am I right? 1 plus x whole power p, that's equal to 1 plus p into x plus p into p minus 1 x square by 2 factorial plus and so on. I'll just take only first two part in this approximation, and you should learn this one. Okay, this kind of approximations are again very much needed in any exams. So that's why I'll take only first two term in the approximation, that's equal to 1 minus 3 alpha cot theta naught. Let me multiply these two. If I multiply those two, what would happen is cos theta naught divided by sine cube theta naught, 1 into 1, that's equal to 1. 1 into minus 3 alpha cot theta naught, minus 3 alpha cot theta naught, minus 1 into minus alpha tan theta naught into 1, that is minus alpha tan theta naught. So last term is multiplication of these two plus 3 alpha square tan theta naught into cot theta naught, that's equal to 1. But I'll just assume this is nearly equal to 0 because alpha square, alpha itself is very small, that's why alpha square is very negligible. Again, we just keep only first order in alpha. You can see any approximation here. Again, here actually many powers of alpha is going to play the role here if you take actual binomial expansion. But again, we just go up to first power in alpha. That's why I am going to assume this is also nearly equal to 0. So then if I assume like that, at the end, what I get here is, that's equal to cos theta naught divided by sine cube theta naught, 1, I can take alpha common, 1 minus I can take alpha common, 3 cot theta naught plus tan theta naught. Can I write like this? Now I am going to substitute this one. 1 minus alpha tan theta naught plus 3 cot theta naught. That's what you will get. Not theta naught here, okay? Cos theta by sine cube theta. Is that okay? Now let me try to substitute this one. Theta double dot, what I can write is, I can write alpha double dot plus omega naught square sine raised to 4 theta naught cos theta by sine cube theta. I can write like this, cos theta naught divided by sine cube theta naught into 1 minus alpha into 3 cot theta naught plus tan theta naught, 3 cot theta naught plus tan theta naught, okay? So that is this part, plus omega naught square sine cos theta naught, wait a second, sine theta, what I have written nearly equal to earlier, can anyone speak out? Sine theta nearly equal to, I have written sine theta naught plus alpha, speak out, cos theta naught, cos theta naught multiplied with cos theta naught multiplied with what I can write? Sin theta naught plus alpha cos theta naught. Can I write like this quickly? Somebody reply. 0. Somehow one term should get cancelled. One term should get cancelled. Let me take sin theta naught outside here, because look at here, when I cancel it out, what would happen is sin theta naught into cos theta naught will remain. That's why I am going to take cos theta naught and sin theta naught outside. Cos theta naught is already outside. I am going to take sin theta naught outside. Then what I get is I will get 1 plus alpha cos theta naught by sin theta naught, that is cot theta naught. So that that is correct. I think this negative sign that I forgot here, then what would happen is, again let me write one more step, alpha double dot minus omega naught square sin theta naught cos theta naught, okay, omega naught square sin theta naught into cos theta naught multiplied with 1 negative sign plus omega naught square sin theta naught cos theta naught multiplied with 3 cot theta naught plus tan theta naught multiplied with alpha plus omega naught square cos theta naught sin theta naught plus omega naught square cos theta naught sin theta naught alpha cot theta naught is equal to 0. I think this would get cancelled. The term containing alpha will remain. The term containing alpha will remain. Try to do this mathematical step again. I think that the problem that they have asked in CSIR, that's not this much lengthy that we have done yesterday. Yeah, second term is negative. Again, it was negative. Otherwise, it will not get cancelled. Then I can write alpha double dot, just tell me whether I am right or not. Alpha double dot, let me take this sin theta naught into cos theta naught inside. When I take this one inside, what would happen here is, I think sin theta naught will get cancelled here, cos square theta naught, sin square theta naught would happen. So here that will happen to be cos square theta naught. I think 3 plus 1, 4 cos square theta naught, 4 cos square theta naught plus sin square theta naught. Try to do this step, okay? Plus sin square theta naught, yeah. Multiplied with alpha, multiplied with omega naught square into alpha. Omega naught square into alpha is equal to 0. This is nothing but alpha double dot plus some omega square alpha is equal to 0, where omega is equal to, omega naught root of 4 cos square theta naught plus sin square theta naught. Quite lengthy, isn't it? What is that omega naught? Any idea? Or let me just write this omega square means this whole thing I have taken it as omega square. This what you call this equation for it's a differential equation for small oscillation about theta naught, where alpha we have taken it like this, theta is equal to theta naught plus alpha, or alpha is equal to theta minus theta naught, okay. Now again you better to write the last step. What is that omega naught? Anyone speak? Omega naught is equal to, speak out, G by L cos theta naught, am I right? Now this omega is nothing but omega naught root of G by L cos theta naught multiplied with root of this one, root of 4 cos square theta naught plus sin square theta naught. You better to manipulate this equation. Any way of manipulating this equation? Yeah, I think he himself, what you call, manipulated this equation itself, okay. again 4 cos square theta naught plus sin square theta naught. This sin square theta naught, he has written it as 1 minus cos square theta naught. That's the best idea. So that there is 1 plus 3 cos square theta naught. Can I write like this directly? 1 plus 3 cos square theta naught by converting that sin square theta naught in terms of cos square theta. So theta naught. Just try to do it. 4 cos square theta naught minus cos square theta naught, that's equal to 3 cos square theta naught. I think that's quite easy to write. Am I right? Root of, I think, how to write? 1 cos theta is in the denominator. Yeah, he is writing directly. Okay, g into 1 plus 3 cos square theta naught whole divided by L cos theta naught. That is the angular frequency. That's what he's asking. Try to do that one. Again, it will, look at here, to get into this step, we have done lot of approximation. Okay. Again, the question remains after solving this question, that is how to get that kind of, again, how to get that we should do that kind of approximation, isn't it? Again, one thing is it should come by practice. Other thing is ultimately we should get into this equation, this kind of equation. That's our target. To get into this kind of equation, definitely we should do all of those approximation. And again, in that approximation also, look at here, you have some logic. You haven't done any of those approximation as it is. Suppose if you are taking like this, you have taken sine alpha nearly equal to alpha. Am I right? Suppose if you take what you call your power series expansion of sine alpha, that would be alpha minus alpha cube by 3 factorial and so on. Am I right? But we don't take higher term. We take only first term. We take first power in alpha. In all of our approximation, we kept only first term in alpha, first power in alpha. Sin alpha, we have taken nearly equal to alpha. So cos alpha, actually, cos alpha, its power series expansion is alpha 1 minus alpha square by 2 factorial plus and so on. We haven't taken this alpha square by 2 factorial. It's the second power. Okay, we have taken only up to first power. That's why cos alpha we have assumed that is nearly equal to alpha. Other assumption. And one more assumption, somewhere we have written, I think 1 plus 3, I think 1 plus cot theta naught, am I right? 1 plus alpha cot theta naught whole power minus 3, am I right? Another term was there. 1 plus alpha cot theta naught whole power minus 3, am I right? This term, what we have written only first two term in its binomial expansion, 1 minus 3 alpha cot theta naught, am I right? One minus, I think, yeah, am I right? These three are the basic assumption that we have done. Again, anyhow, again, they may not ask this question because it's not doable in exam hall. But again, you should be able to learn this kind of mathematical step. That's what I'm saying. Cos alpha, yeah, sorry. Cos alpha nearly equal to 1. Actually, what I have written, cos alpha is equal to 1 minus alpha square by 2 factorial plus and so on. Am I right? But what we have done, we have taken only up to first power in alpha. That's why I'm going to rub out all of this part. Cos alpha nearly equal to 1. Okay, sorry. Cos alpha is not alpha. Cos alpha nearly equal to 1. That's what we have taken. So everywhere we, again, one more step came. I don't know whether you remember or not. This 3 alpha cot theta naught, that is multiplied with alpha tan theta naught. Am I right? Some 3 alpha square into 1 came, and that term also we neglected. We just retained first power in alpha, because ultimately we should try to write this kind of equation. That's our idea, because small angle approximation again. Unless you get this kind of equation, you can't define frequency, isn't it? Any question? No, this is 3-dimensional motion, okay, Sushil. I think you are saying that we'll perform simple harmonic motion. Again, it is not restricted to a plane, okay, then it would be simple pendulum. If you take pi constant, that would be simple pendulum, okay. This is not simple pendulum question, it's not moving in a plane, that's what I am saying, okay. Again, it is moving on what you call very different path, so that theta naught is changing little bit. pi is also changing. Okay. So these are the approximation that we have taken. Again, we haven't taken alpha squared part, we haven't taken alpha cube part, we haven't taken next part in this approximation. Okay. Learn this kind of approximation in this problem. I think again for your exam this may not be required this much lengthy step, but again try to learn this kind of approximation. That will give you much more hold. Okay. But remember the table mass problem that also ran in the same manner. Okay. That problem also have got same flow. That problem is asked in the exam. Okay, they asked frequency of small oscillation or time period of small oscillation. Is that okay? Yes, try to grab this part. So that's what I'm expecting. Okay, I think we better to close this session. Actually, I planned one more question. Somehow this lengthy mathematics consume time. But later again, I think I'm not going to choose this much lengthy question in the next part, but try to do that one. Okay, this video will be kept to watch later also, and again you can watch with a more playback speed to practice that mathematical step. We are getting, yeah, it is doing SHM, remember, but this SHM is, look at here. Very good question. This SHM, look at here, if this is theta naught, you have gravity here, this is mass m, okay, this is theta naught. Why it will, again, if suppose it moves in a plane, why it would do SHM with respect to theta naught plus alpha, theta naught minus alpha. Suppose let me take this one as alpha. It will not do SHM, again, if it is restricted to move on a plane, okay, a cross section, then it will do small oscillation about this lowest part actually, isn't it? That's our simple pendulum. So it is doing what you call small oscillation about theta naught, means it is along with this small oscillation with respect to the theta naught, it is moving like this also. I can't imagine that curve actually. I can't imagine that curve. Let me try, okay, let me Google it and let me try to find some curve, exact curve. Ravi, are you getting my point? Because of that what you call azimuthal motion, again that pi coordinate is called as azimuthal coordinate. Because of that azimuthal motion, this constant angle theta naught appeared, am I right? Again, now you are disturbing that one. Now along with that what you call circular motion, again that's not pure circular motion now, again it will do small oscillation here. Again, we are just taking a small oscillation about theta naught. Okay, it will not happen if there is no azimuthal motion like this. Okay, it will not happen. If there is no azimuthal motion, it will do small angle about lowest point. Yeah, I think he got some word for that one. Conical pendulum. I think it is also called as conical pendulum. I don't know. I think it's a spherical pendulum. As I remember, it's called a spherical pendulum. Okay. No. Again, mass on the table, that was quite different. Yeah, I think the what you call this is not exactly circular. Okay. If you see this is not circular. I think this may move like this. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. This curve is not spherical, this curve is not circular, okay, this azimuthal motion is not circular. I think that would be quite different from circular, because again theta naught is also changing, okay. Let me try to Google it about that one, I mean if any simulations are there or not, okay. Yeah, that's correct. Circular motion with increase and decrease of the radius actually, that kind of thing. But remember, this mass is constrained to move on the surface of the sphere. Don't forget that part. Yeah, tomorrow we shall take double pendulum problem, okay. I think you have asked that question earlier also, I forgot. Let me take a double pendulum question, okay, tomorrow. Motion is not restricted to cone, okay, you should not say cone. I don't know whether it is called as conical pendulum or not. Yeah, maybe it looks like, again it will form a cone, am I right? Again when it moves on a circle, but you better to say spherical pendulum because mass is constrained to move on the surface of the sphere. We have to say spherical one, okay? Yeah, again, motion is similar to cone, not exactly similar. Cone with this angle theta is changing, okay? I think you better to draw a different type of cone where this theta naught is increasing, decreasing, increasing, decreasing. Quite difficult because again it should constrain to move on the surface of the sphere also. Okay, I can't imagine that exact what you call. Yeah, they can ask part A of the question. Okay, they can ask part A of the question, but in one of the exams they asked this kind of question, not in this one. In case of the table mass problem, which also runs in the same manner, we wish to find this kind of equation actually. Yesterday's class, okay. They can ask part A of the question, that's quite easy, okay. So try to solve it, and again you got lot of mathematical idea also from this problem. Try to grab as much as possible. I hope you got how to write Lagrangian in case of spherical polar coordinate, how to write the kinetic energy and all, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think let me close this session. We shall see tomorrow at same time, okay. Let me solve the double pendulum, okay. Small oscillation corresponds to double pendulum. I think that's also one of the problem here. Along with let me solve some more problem, okay. We shall see tomorrow. Yeah, it's a wave type motion stick to the surface. Yeah, that's correct. Wave type motion stick to the surface of the sphere in a closed loop. That's correct. Yeah, anyway, we shall see tomorrow. Yeah.